It's already 5:05 p.m., so welcome. Every Tuesday on People's Forum, we drive this campaign against crime in partnership with Capio, Carmelite Prisoners Interest Organization, sponsors this campaign against crime via this platform. The target is to reach out to the youth listening to us to engage you positively so that you don't end up in custodial centers. That's the target of this campaign. It's been on for the past more than 10 Tuesdays now. Yes, almost 14 Tuesdays so far on People's Forum. And for today, we're going to be focusing on mentoring and youth development. As of Monday, June 1st of 2020, the current population of Nigeria was pegged at 205,660,883 based on Worldometer elaboration of the United Nations data. Now, they also estimated that we're going to hit about 206 million at the middle of this year. This is already August. We're getting to the ending of the year or to the end of the year. And when you look at the population of Nigeria, we've also been said to have one of the largest populations of youth in the world. Now, a youth has initially been defined as persons that fall between the ages of 18 and 35 by the National Youth Policy. Until last year, it now changed to 15 to 29 years. And I believe that the secondary school students who are the targets, the primary target of this program, also fall under that category. So let's focus on the topic of discussion today. My name is Ezine Aningwe, alongside my production crew led by Okeo Dogu. I have Capio well represented here in the studio. Michael Okuma is here, Research and Communications Officer with Capio. Good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening, Ezine. It's nice to be here.
You're welcome. Happy New Month. We've not seen this month, have we?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Happy New Month.
Welcome. We also have here with us Chukwumwike Wangu, the Programs Officer of Capio. I had to call your name in full today.
Thank you, Ezine, for that. Good evening, listeners. It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, so mentorship, that's our topic of discussion. Mentorship and youth development. We've already established that considering the large population of Nigeria, we also have one of the largest number or population of youth in the world. So that brings us to the issue of mentorship. What is mentorship? Let's begin with you, Chooks.
Yes, there are numerous definitions of mentorship. But in simple terms, you can look at mentorship as a relationship in which a more experienced person or a more knowledgeable person is willing to help somebody that is less experienced or less knowledgeable in some particular issues of life, especially young people. When somebody who has mastered his field of experience or endeavor or has built some levels of skills decides to offer a kind of skill development, molding, character molding, or any form that it comes with, to impart that knowledge that he has or the experience that he has acquired over the years to a more of a less experienced person, like a young person, to be able to measure up to the demand of that particular career or experience or whatever that he really wants to do. So in a nutshell, it's just a relationship where a more experienced person comes to help a less experienced person to maximize his or her potentials.
Okay, how does it play out, Michael? Usually you hear people say on social media, I don't know if you've had that experience, someone, a random person who has not met you before, just likes you or likes the idea of you and just says, hi, you're my mentor, Michael is my mentor on Facebook. How does this mentorship thing work?
Well, I think a lot of persons have misconceptions about what mentorship should be, because I've had the exact experience you described.
Okay.
In fact, I have a number of persons that I have not met, maybe in the past 1 year or in 2 years, and they run into and they're like, this is my mentor. So I think the missing link here is that mentorship is supposed to be a relationship between two persons, and usually there is a learning arrangement which can go in a lot of complex ways, because the world is changing. The times are very different from what they used to be so many years back. So, back then it used to be the almighty, maybe professor or some guy who knows everything, and their job and their role in this relationship is to, pour in the knowledge, the experience, and all of the stuff that they've learned, in their journey into the mentee. But then these days we're seeing that change, because the learning now has to go both ways, and even there are concepts of co-mentorship, because like Chuk said in his definition, mentorship can be in a specific area. So sometimes I might mentor you in a particular thing, and somewhere along the line I realize that there might be something that I can learn from you too, and I have to subject myself to that process. In fact, I had a very sweet experience someday. I was talking to a professor. This guy is like a top professor, well respected across the nation and beyond, and we were talking about the development sector. And he said to me, how do you know that your project is going to succeed? And I said, because we can tell if we will achieve the results or not. And he said, explain that. How do you know for sure that the results are going to come? And I said, we have tools. We have a result framework. We can determine what the indicators are. We can manage results and all of that. And I introduced him to the concept of a log frame. And he had never heard the word log frame before. And he said, what's a log frame? And he said, okay, you know what? I need to learn this from you. Please, will you teach me? And I said, Prof, Prof, you're too big. How am I going to teach a professor? He said, yeah, never mind, forget the titles. I need to learn this. It's fantastic. And, that opened doors to a new relationship that I still enjoy up till today. Because then when they have certain kinds of projects, they want me to maybe to have a look or give an opinion on all of that. So a lot of times people don't understand that mentorship is not a passive thing. It's not like a title. And as in, I'm sorry to say this, but a lot of young persons I've met, very recently in the past maybe 18 months are crazy about titles. I met a young person who has like 7 titles. I don't even have one. And he's ambassador of this, ambassador of that, this one of the other one, this one. He's already mentoring people. And he said to me, this guy is still in the university, and he's mentoring people. And I'm like, okay, now that
Did you find out who his mentor is?
Well, no, he said to me he was not interested in being mentored. He was interested in being a mentor to others. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, great. You go. But it's an active relationship where there has to be communication from time to time that are relevant to maybe learning skills in a particular field. And mentorship is not like a lifetime relationship where you can say, this guy is my mentor, and year in, year out. For example, you can have a career mentor, and maybe he coaches you for a year, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years, and at a certain point you might need to make a switch, probably because you might have got to a level where this mentor skill level can no longer give you the support that you need.
So you're saying there must be a goal in view.
Yes.
So once that goal is achieved with that mentorship,
the arrangement is over.
Then it's over.
Yeah.
Okay, Chooks, what are the benefits of mentorship, especially for the youth, the target of this program, the young person listening to us? What are the benefits?
There are a lot of benefits. Like my colleague have said, whenever there is a process of mentoring, you discover that somebody is learning something. There is a value addition. There is skill development. There is something that you are learning. Even what the example that he gave, the professor wants to learn from him. Somebody that is knowledgeable in log frame is now trying to impart someone that is less knowledgeable in that area. So there must be something that is being exchanged. So for young people, especially for this project that we are doing, the crime prevention thing, young people we know are always very vulnerable, especially in our setting where there's a lot of social issues that they are contending with. We do not have a lot of facilities where they can easily walk into the library, have access to the internet, all the facilities that motivate you to even read or explore your talents. They are not there. So in this issue of mentoring is a very big thing for them to have a platform where somebody that is more knowledgeable in a particular area can now help them to acquire particular skills or even behavior that will help them not to be vulnerable to certain social vices that exposes them to go to crime and end up in the prison or in the custodial centers they are called now. So mentoring helps in crime prevention because it makes young people to develop that skill development. Because even if you go inside the custodial centers where we are meant to rehabilitate these inmates, for them to now come out and be reintegrated into the society, some of these things don't happen. That particular platform of even mentoring them to acquire skills. So why not find a mentor as a mentee when you are free to have all the freedom that will help you learn life survival skills, make you maximize your potentials, and then you'll be able to put those energy in something meaningful than finding yourself in custodial center where you'll be forced to pass through a rehabilitation process that you are not psychologically and otherwise prepared to go through. So this, we think that if there are platforms by government and some other organizations where young people can cash in, because we are centering on young people, and to our own understanding, we feel that they do not have all that it takes to survive the terrain and all the social vices and the pressures that are coming from their peers. So if they have that platform where somebody can lead them through and expose them some certain things that they may not have thought about, that skills that you think you cannot, some things that you cannot do this, and he finds a mentor that has excelled in that particular area of life, and he decides to meet him, and they have a kind of relationship, and he learns that skills, and from there his life becomes a turnaround and contribute meaningfully to society. So we believe that mentorship can also help in crime prevention.
All right. You're listening to People's Forum on 92.5 Enugu Stream FM. We're streaming live. It's a TriCast on Facebook, 925 Dream FM. The Twitter handle at Dream925FM. On YouTube, the address, find us, Dream TV Enugu. Click on the notification button and subscribe first of all. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll look at how the young person listening to us can find a mentor. I was listening to someone earlier today. Someone wanted to learn something from him, and she started giving the time that the person should, teach whatever it was she wanted to learn. So we're going to find out how one can actually find a mentor, or should the mentor find the mentee. We're going to understand all of that when we come back. Stay with us.
Youth, arise against crime. Crime has destroyed the beautiful destiny of our youths. But the time has come to mobilize youth against crime, to say no to those things that kill us, and to say yes to those things that build us. We have resolved to make the difference. We have mobilized to fight crime. Youths, say no to crime.
This message is brought to you by the Carmelite Prisoners Interest Organization, CAPIO, with funding support from Mission Cara, Ireland.
You dream it, we'll bring it.
You're checking out
92.5 FM.
Youth, arise against crime. Crime has destroyed the beautiful destiny of our youths. But the time has come to mobilize youth against crime, to say no to those things that kill us, and to say yes to those things that build us. We have resolved to make the difference. We have mobilized to fight crime. Youths, say no to crime.
This message is brought to you by the Carmelite Prisoners Interest Organization, CAPIO, with funding support from Mission Cara, Ireland.
What is it with our politicians today? Nobody is making any sense.
Now, only politicians, even we never show us this money.
But you
don't have good jobs. How can you?
Your views, your thoughts, your perspective. This is People's Forum.
Thank you for staying with us on 92.5 Enugu's Dream FM. It is People's Forum. Before we went on the break, considering the topic of discussion, mentoring and youth development, it's been defined. Mentoring has been defined, or mentorship. A relationship, most importantly, a relationship has to be there. Now, where the lesser or one who has less knowledge or less experience is trying to get something from someone with greater experience or knowledge. And you also established that there has to be a goal, because sometimes it's not a lifelong relationship. At some point you have to drop a particular mentor, and you can be mentored in different fields in your career, spiritual life, or different aspects of life, right? And one of the benefits pointed out by Chooks, yes, before we went on the break, he said that mentoring can help a youth stay away from crime. So crime prevention, that was what he pointed out. Are there other benefits, Michael?
Well, yes, there are a number of benefits. Of course, there are a world of benefits that can come out of mentorship. But it's very important to stress on this one, which is that you don't have to repeat the mistakes that the mentors have made, which I think is one of the greatest reasons why mentorship is really encouraged, especially for young persons growing up. Because at my current age, there are lots of mistakes I have made, through the course of my life, and in my chosen professions and in every other place I've worked. More or less everything you've done, you've learned from the mistakes, and the good practices, or what we used to call the best practices. And that's why more experienced persons seem to be more successful, because they know what works and what doesn't work. So if you don't have a mentor to lead you through your maybe career path or spiritual path or whatever path you're on, there are chances that you might have similar experiences and you might make the same mistakes as these other persons. But if you have a mentor and you share your plans with them, then they can tell you, okay, you see this, it doesn't work. This is more likely to work. Now, that may not always be correct all the time, but at least it saves you the stress of a few bad experiences. So that, I think, is a very important benefit of mentorship. And then there are, probably a few other ones, and maybe I can talk about just one more. And that would be that, unlike what I've heard from quite some persons who would say, okay, my dad is my mentor, or my mom is my mentor, people fail to realize that you can have as many mentors as you need, because as human beings we live a multi-dimensional life.
Okay.
So sometimes even maybe to conduct a certain activity you might need more than one person, because an act might need maybe different professionals coming in, and you might need information, experience that you may not have at the time to better manage all of these individuals and their needs and work on your project or whatever it is. And I'm saying this specifically for a lot of young persons, because I have friends who at this level in their life, some say, okay, I want to be a musician, I want to be an artist, and you're like, okay, so who's your mentor? Say, it's Two-Face. They've never met Two-Face. They don't know him. They don't have
no relationship.
No relationship, and there is no chance that they could run into him, because they live somewhere in Enugu, maybe in a village.
Differentiate between mentor and role model.
Yes, so I think that's a role model is someone you look up to, and then you try to learn from their life. Maybe you might even go on and watch a movie, read a book, or whatever, or just create your own story of what you think this person would be like, which is what we do most of the times. But then a mentor is someone you have direct access to, someone you can talk to on the phone or exchange emails with, or have face-to-face meetings, and they have the time to look through your work and give you advice that can help you develop in a particular area. So it's okay to have a primary mentor where somebody says, okay, you see, my father is my hero. Whatever he says, I listen to. That is my primary mentor. But then your daddy may not be able to help you with your research when you get into school, or give you even the right academic advice, might not be able to advise you in the particular maybe work field that you want to go into. And in that scenario, you might need some other persons who would have a very good idea of those areas that can guide you. So the persons you go to learn from those would be your mentors. Your what do you call that? The role model is just some person that you look up to, and you like stuff about their life, and maybe someday, if you're fortunate, you might become something close to them, but they don't have any direct influence over the decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, so Chooks, are you going to say from experience? I know that Capio has been going to schools before the COVID-19 outbreak in Nigeria.
Exactly.
No, Capio went to different schools, interacted with different youths in different schools. Would you attribute some of the crime or criminal activities you've seen over time with your work to lack of mentorship?
Yes, you can see it. Obviously, it's not only because we visited schools, even in the society, because of, like he said, so many people have actually decided to see some things or some values or people that exhibit some certain things as their role model, people that they want to be like. And that's one of the things that we observed when we visited schools and we met young people. And when we ask them, what do you want to be in future, you will be so surprised to hear what some of them used to say, and the kind of personalities that they mentioned that they. In fact, we went to one school, to our surprise, somebody said he wants to be a Yahoo boy. And we are so shocked that a student can be that bold to mention that kind of thing even before the teachers and all that. And you can imagine the effect of all those things on the students and what their perception of life is. And that kind of thing can lead them into crime. For a student at that level, at secondary school level, thinking that he wants to be a Yahoo boy, maybe he has seen one of the Yahoo boys and all those things that fly on the social media, buying cars and all that, and he feels that, or he felt that, oh, I want to become like this guy. That's the role model thing that he's saying. He has not had any relationship with the guy to tell him what you need to do to be like me and all that, and have him have his hand on the job and all that. But that's on the negative side. So we discovered that there is no platform, even within the school environment, where young people are given the opportunity to have somebody they can confide in and say, okay, this is, I think I like this, and I want you to be my mentor and have me pass through this process to become what I want to be. The best you can get in the secondary school is where you see a student say, okay, my career choice. Maybe you are entering into SS1 and your guidance counselor comes and says, who are you, wants to be this and that, science or art. You just decide to, maybe you make your choice and say, I want to be a science student, I want to. But nobody takes you through and say, okay, I think I like you as a person. I like the personalities I'm seeing. I have about you, the perception I have about you. Would you be willing to take me through a life experience, even as a teacher? I don't know if teachers have this willingness to create platforms for students to be mentored, apart from just coming to class and teaching and going. So, from what we've observed, like I said, we discovered that so many students lack knowledge on how to manage issues of life. That's why in our manual we introduce not only how to correct from the behavior from social vices, or how to prevent students from indulging on some certain behaviors that may expose them to crime, but we also added some life-saving skills like this mentorship in our manual. That is not about don't indulge in exam malpractice, don't do this and that, but you can learn about mentoring. You can have aspiration, goal setting. These are part of what contains in our manual. So with young people, this thing can expose them. If you go to the rural areas, I have mentioned it in this program before, that when we wanted to talk about cultism, because when we come, we choose a topic that they are more likely to be open to discuss with us. So in that school, they chose cultism. And at the point of discussion, and the way they were, because we also tell them before we come to prepare for a drama in a particular topic they've chosen to do. So after acting the drama, even the principal told us that he's aware that there's a cult group in his school, and the way he was explaining it to us, he felt so helpless that these boys exist here and nobody can talk to them. So if there is no platform by government or other social non-governmental organizations to create platform where young people can come on board to be mentored. Okay, what do you want to be? You can be a student and still be a good footballer.
Okay.
You can still pass through the secondary school and still be a good singer and sing and become meaningful to the society. And pass through not just to have a perception or love a particular artist on the TV and start behaving the way it's behaving, without having that relationship to pass through the rigor of becoming a star.
All right, Michael. Well, we are aware that there are guidance and counselors in schools, or the guidance and counseling department. Let me put it that way. But there are still calls like Chooks made now for schools to factor in mentorship programs, especially now that the young ones are at home.
Well, I think it's a problem of the system, because then we run an academic system in Nigeria that still operates from that teacher-student perspective, where the teacher is the reservoir of knowledge, and the job is to let down some of these into the students, as that's against adopting a learner-centered learning kind of environment, so the students are not really important. The teachers are important, and when Chooks was talking about students getting into SS1, and then they asked who wants to be a science student. In my experience, it was more like science students are the brilliant ones. They are the ones who become doctors and save the world. The art students are the unserious ones who just go and draw and dance, and they don't amount to anything. So that's kind of what the perception that we're giving. And if science comes naturally to you, then rejoice and be glad. You're the favored one. But then if science does not come naturally to you, you're in trouble, because others are going to look down on you. And at the end of the day, we get to see lots of students switch into the science class, and they struggle throughout their school days, and eventually get into the university to study courses that would not really be beneficial to them. So I think the school system needs to look at the students first as the most important individuals in the school, and all of the teachers are there to ensure that the best possible results come out of the lives that the students are living. And to help them achieve this, these parents also have a role to play, because as long as the school system and parents try to fit children into certain structured mindsets, we're not going to get the best out of them. Where they say, okay, you're a doctor, engineer, or you're nothing. Or where the parents say, okay, I don't want to hear anything about football in my house. In fact, I have a friend who's a lecturer, and the son is a very good footballer, and she says, my son is not going to be a footballer, he's going to do his studies, And personally, this is a personal opinion, I don't see why we should not let young persons discover what they really want to be. And parents and schools will have to do the work of trying to ensure that these children find inspiration and that they are matched with the right mentors. At certain ages, young people don't know they need a mentor. They don't know where to find one. And even if they knew where to find a mentor, they may not have the resources to pursue this arrangement, because mentorship does not come for free. Yeah, there are the best mentors in the world are paid to mentor, because it's very they have a lot to do. They're busy people, and their time is super expensive, and we would understand this at this level because we've all paid for training at some point in our life, and we've all paid to get close enough to some person, maybe to ask just one question, because you're sure you're going to get an answer that would make things a lot more easy for you. But the young persons may not have this opportunity. They may not have the resources that they need. But then it's up to the school to maybe conduct career workshops, mentorship fairs. And then you don't need to go so far away. You have among the PTA, parents of other children.
Well, now that schools are not open, it's just for the ones coming to sit for exams.
Yes.
Is it possible that they can do that?
Now is the greatest opportunity schools have, to create mentorship arrangements for all of their children. Because there is e-mentorship, of course. Everything there's an E for everything right now, because we're all living in the cloud. Okay. So the beautiful thing is, it's even better that way, because right now I can have a mentor in the US. I have mentors who are not Nigerians, and I've had people mentor me in certain areas that I've never met in my entire life. So the internet is there to help us, and the schools can make very great use of these opportunities to ensure that they create platforms. All you need is a pool. You don't even need to start matching people. Create the opportunity, bring mentors, and then let the young persons know what these persons can do, and let them choose for themselves whom they want to go to for training or learning or share experiences with.
All right. You're listening to People's Forum on 92.5 in Nugu's Dream FM. Join the conversation. We've been talking about mentorship and youth development on the TriCast. Dream 925 FM, that's the Twitter handle, at Dream 925 FM, the Twitter handle, and on the Facebook page 925 Dream FM. You can join us on YouTube, Dream TV Enugu. The phone lines are open 0809 8888 925 or 0902 0020
Youth, arise against crime. Crime has destroyed the beautiful destiny of our youths. But the time has come to mobilize youth against crime, to say no to those things that kill us, and to say yes to those things that build us. We have resolved to make the difference. We have mobilized to fight crime. Youths, say no to crime.
This message is brought to you by the Carmelite Prisoners Interest Organization, CAPIO, with funding support from Mission Cara, Ireland.
What is it with our politicians today? Nobody is making any sense.
Now only politicians, even we never show us this money.
But you
don't have good jobs. How can you?
Your views, your thoughts, your perspective. This is People's Forum.
Thank you for staying with us on People's Forum. It's 92.5 in Nugu's Dream FM. We've been talking about mentoring and youth development. I have with me in the studio Michael Okuma, Research and Communications Officer with Carmelite Prisoners Interest Organization, CAPIO. We also have Chukwunwi Kenwangu, Programs Officer, CAPIO. And this campaign against crime is being sponsored by CAPIO via this platform, People's Forum. So on the phone lines, 0809 8888 925 or 0902 0020 That's the WhatsApp line as well, 0902 0020 Thank you for joining us on the Facebook live stream. AGK, good luck, Abu from Newi, all the way from Newi. Mike Agu said, okay, you're talking about something else, school feeding program. Well, thank you for joining. Solomon Johnson, all the way from Benue State, thank you for joining. Michael the Good said, greetings to you. Sometimes the mentor can turn around in doing the opposite of what Okay, he's giving an example. Now, let me understand you better, Michael. For example, our politicians are religious leaders. When you try to ask them, they will tell you to practice what they mentor you on and allow them to do things the other way. Okay, so he's talking about people telling you to do something but not doing the same thing they tell you to do. All right. Thank you, Michael Abuchibo from Lagos, Festac Town. All right. Julius Ugochukwu, I'll get to your comment shortly. 0809 8888 925. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Welcome. What's your name, sir?
My name is Osita Ezungu. I'm calling from Ulunyo Voto in the South Local Government area.
Mr. Osta, go ahead.
In my own opinion, there is no level somebody will reach knowledge that it will not require mentorship, because nobody has a universal knowledge, the endeavors of life. Even if you are a professor in medicine, you may be a novice in law. That is why even our government officials require special advisors or personal assistants. But my conclusion and where I need more clarification from the guests is how this mentorship relates with crime. That is my own opinion.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Osita. Well, he said that there is no level one can get to and say, I don't need a mentor. For everyone listening, not just the youths, everyone needs a mentor. Everyone needs to learn from someone else at every point in time. 0809 8888 925 on the Facebook live stream. Julius Ugochukwu, thank you for joining us all the way from Kebbi State. Mentoring is good, or it's good to have a mentor, but mentees can develop envy, he said, when they see something good coming your way. So I don't have any mentor except my Bible. All right. Hello, good evening. Welcome to People's Forum.
Hello.
What's your name? Thank you for joining us. What's your name?
I'm Esther calling from Olo.
Esther, go ahead. Welcome.
Okay, I'm in SS2, right? Okay, we really need mentor. Like, we staying at home, we need phone to, go online, have mentors to teach us. Like, our brain are getting so dull. It's hard for us to read nowadays.
Okay, have you talked to anybody about this, Esther?
Yeah, my parents don't even care. I've read all the textbooks I have from SS1 to SS2.
Have you spoken to your parents?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, and did they give you any positive response that they will find you
No,
mentor?
nothing. I just stay at home, write novels, write music and everything. Like, I'm good in writing, but I'm in science class.
You're good in writing?
Yeah, I write novels, short novels.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, Michael, there could be one or two things you would say that would help Esther.
Yeah, well, I think that sometimes we look to the wrong places for the help that we need because, there's that Latin maxim, the nemo dat non quod habet, you can't give what you don't have. And if a person has not had very good experiences with mentorship, like the person who sent in the message that his only mentor is his Bible. If he has children, he's not going to encourage them to have mentors. And even if they wanted mentorship opportunities, he's going to tell them, go read your Bible. No human being can help you, and that is totally wrong. So my advice would be this. Unfortunately, the person involved is still in the secondary school, so I would assume she's a minor, and a lot of platforms where young professionals can find mentorship real quick, like LinkedIn may not be a very safe place for persons that young, because I also understand the perspective this other guy was coming from, because there are too many fake gurus, let me put it that way. There are too many fake gurus online and offline who claim they are going to mentor young persons. They pretend they have new stuff to teach,
and they take advantage.
Yes, and they take advantage of those persons and exploit them. Could be financially, could be in any other way, but I'm more concerned about the financial, because that's kind of affecting a lot of Nigerians right now. There are courses everywhere, advanced courses, and people are not learning anything. I ask them, stop taking all these courses, find one that is going to be useful to you. So my advice would be, if you've read all of your school books, then you might need to start thinking about the future, because believe it or not, after secondary school, you won't even remember what you read in those books.
She said she has a flair for writing.
Great. Then now she needs to take action, double down on what works for her, and in this case would be writing. Write a story, write a book, write books. There is no end to this. And in the past 2 months, I've actually worked with a few young persons, who are in very similar situations as her. And then I have this friend who wrote a short novel, and now we are writing, and we're like, man, this is too good, and it can't end here. So she's creating like a large volume, and she's writing and writing and writing. And I say to young persons, now is a great opportunity, because you're home. Develop all of the content you're going to need. keep writing, maybe start a blog, start a YouTube channel, whatever it is you need. And young persons who feel that they are not learning anything new might want to explore co-mentorship, where you find other young persons within your own set, and you all talk about whatever it is that you have
they are
passion
WhatsApp
for.
groups,
Yes.
so they get to talk.
Yes, so a mentor doesn't have to be somebody who's way older. Can be a group of 2, 3, 5 of you who are interested in writing or in some other stuff, and then you create content, you share, you critique each other's work, and you grow together. You'll be so surprised how far you'll go in a month if you're consistent with this.
All right, 0809888925 or 090200200925. We've been talking about mentoring and youth development. Join us on the social media platforms. Over Nordicland on the Facebook live stream said, I think mentorship works for those who are willing to learn from life experiences of others. Meanwhile, is there any disadvantage of mentorship? And I wish you people will highlight more about the difference between lecturing and mentoring. Thank you. All right, Johanna Daliop, thank you for joining us from Just. Okay.
Well, talking about lecturing and mentorship, there are two different things, because then every lecturer is employed with a contract and they have specific a range of activities that they are supposed to undertake. And if a lecturer just did his job, he would not have, he would not have failed the students. And if a lecturer chooses to become a mentor, because I know it's wrong for me to say what I just said, because mentorship agreements are initiated by the mentees. No person should go out in the street and say, see, hey you, I want to mentor you, come here. No, young persons should identify something in you that they would like to learn. Then they come and they say, please, can you teach me this? I'd like you to mentor me in this area.
So that's the order?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The mentees initiate the process and they manage it. And mentees should be able to tell when it's over. Your life is not in the mentor's hands. They're not supposed to control. The mentor shouldn't be chasing you around, asking you to come and be mentored. You should be asking them to make opportunities to share their knowledge and their learning with you. So lecturers, they lecture, they teach. That's what they're in the university to do. But then if along the line some students find maybe a certain skill or something they want to gain from a lecturer, they're free to approach for mentorship.
All right, we have a caller, 0809888925. Before we take another call, perhaps you want to add something, Chooks?
Yes, there are many Esthers that are out there, and I want to encourage them. When we talk of mentorship, it's clear that some of these young people out there, they are stuck in a kind of the whole process. Like Esther is saying, I've read all my books and I don't know the next step to take. That's where experience, like what Michael was trying to give a background, do this, have a co-mentoring setting where you can learn with. Esther doesn't know that these things exist, so that's where mentorship comes in. When you are knowledgeable, when you have that experience to, help somebody that is already stuck in a process to continue and actually maximize the potential.
What can parents do differently? Because this Esther story could also be the experience of many other youths listening to us this evening. Yeah. What can parents do differently to help?
Yes, there are so many things that parents can do. You see, we need to maximize this period of lockdown and observe our children and ask questions and create environments where you can interact with them and have them come out openly and tell this, mommy, this is what I ask Esther, have you discussed with them? He said, yes, I've discussed, and nothing came out of that discussion. You understand? So we need to listen to them and say, okay, Esther, I think we need to take this your writing skill to another level. We need to look at the pool. Are there platforms where you can start engaging with somebody that have actually proven himself to be a good writer, and let's see the processes that he or she has passed through that made her or him to get to that stage. Okay, that's mentorship. Like he said, the mentee always comes to say, okay, I would like to have you mentor me. So parents are supposed to create these opportunities and look out for it. If it's not within their own circle, look out for it. A secure, because we're in a world or a visual world where so many things are out there and you don't know who is the scammer and all that. So you look at a secure space where young people can get actually what they want, and the schools also have to do something. So today I was just reading something about this mentorship and all that. I discovered that there is what we call mentorship initiative of Nigeria. I was trying to read through their profile and what they do. It's a group of people came together and started to create a pool of mentors where people can sign in and say, okay, I want to be mentored in this area, and they sign in and find somebody, start interacting with them, and by them, if you pass through their criteria, they will absolve you, and you start going through that process. I never knew that it exists until I decided to make a start. So students out there, you can make a start. The only problem is that we don't know the one that is a secure space. So the school and the authorities have to come in here, to create this platform for people to actually, when they desire this kind of mentorship process, they have a secure place to do that. So let me mention this because our government seems to have been failing us, and that is something the impact on our young people. That's why people have given up. That there is nothing that can come out of it. I think we read something that said when the politicians tell you something, they do a different thing. I just saw on the news, even before coming to this studio, that there is something they call Youth Investment Fund that is being pioneered by, I think, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sports and Youth Development. We actually have a ministry for sports and youth development in this country, and they have a pool of fund for youth investment, and we don't have a platform where young people like Esther that wants to be mentored in an area of writing or so many other things that they want to do, and it doesn't exist.
Michael, you wanted to say something.
Well, two things actually. First, and I'll try to keep it simple, first would be that I'd like to see young persons become more open about what they're passionate about, things they have passion for with their parents, and drawing from a personal experience, because I started writing poems, I think maybe from my JS1, and I wrote poems through my secondary school days, through my university days, and nobody related to me saw any of those poems. In fact, I think it's only one human being who saw those poems between when I started writing, maybe almost 20 years ago, up until early this year when I finally gathered all of them and I published online. Right? So maybe if I had spoken up, maybe if I had shown the poems to my parents or someone, maybe they could have hooked me up, or maybe they would not have pushed me into medical school and said, okay, you have to become a doctor. Maybe they would have said, okay, this guy might be cut out for something different. But then I kept those to myself for whatever reasons. So, I'm still a poet, but maybe I wouldn't be like a big poet someday. So I would encourage young persons, if you have a passion, something you're really good at, show these skills to other persons. Don't tell them about it. Show them what you can do, and then see what support they can get. And then to parents and other adults, uncles and whatever, when young persons show you what they can do, or when you observe them, may not show you, you might just observe them, right? Engage with them, and if you discover that there might be some potential there, give them the support that they need. Help them find the right persons who can, put them through.
All right. Well, as we round off on today's edition of People's Forum, campaign against criminal activities in Enugu State, that's the hashtag, right? Okay. And I'd like for you to give the contact of Capio. Yes, for people who might want to even reach out to Michael for mentorship. Okay.
Or Chooks, actually.
Yes, or Chooks. Okay, so the contact of Capio and web address for this manual, Youth Arise manual. Maybe that's something that Esther might want to add to her, library, since she's read all her books.
Okay, for our phone lines, we have the numbers are 070 55 987-104, 070-55-987-104, and the other line is 081-7922-8111, 081-7922-8111.
Your web address.
Okay, our web address is you can email us at capio mail at capio.org. That's our mail, and our web address is for our web address is www.capiong.org, and our Instagram is instagram.com/capio Nigeria. and our Facebook is www.facebook.com/Capio Nigeria. Yeah.
Okay, and Twitter? What about Twitter? I know you're on Twitter.
At Capio Nigeria.
Capio Nigeria, yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming today on People's Forum. Michael Okuma, it's been a pleasure having you. He's the Research Communications Officer with Capio.
Thank you very much, Ezinne, for having me. It's always a great time to be here.
Chukwuwike Nwangu, thank you. It's good I learned your full name today. Programs Officer at Capio. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Ezinne.
Yes.
I appreciate all the
Thank you
moments.
to Alex Obodo for ensuring that we streamed live on Facebook, 925 Dream FM, Twitter handle at Dream925 FM. Now, if you know a young person, you might want to recommend this video. It's out there for you to watch on Facebook, right? 925 Dream FM, or go to the YouTube. Find us there, Dream TV Enugu. Subscribe and click on the notification button. It won't bite you. Just make sure you watch our videos. Thank you to Alex Obodo for that. And I'm handing you over to Frankie and Godwin for sports. Yeah, and here on 92.5 Enugu's Dream FM. Remember, People's Forum returns tomorrow, 5 p.m. Don't touch your radio. My name is Ezinne Nanning on behalf of my production crew led by OK Odogu.
Please listen to this announcement. Do you